In today's video, I'm going to be talking about a big culture shift of sorts that's going on right now in New Orleans. This, of course, this culture shift thing mostly sort of happened last week, so I'm kind of late to everything for it and all that. Oh God, what the heck? I'm so sorry about that. So in today's video we'll be talking about that and some other stuff, and mostly talk about who has been the big impact of this culture shift. And really, for me, it's come down to two people, and that's Kellen Moore and Shough, because the feel is different in New Orleans. They're coming into this off season than it was last off season. We'll get more about that. Get more about other stuff. But before we get into the video, if you guys are new to the channel or haven't yet here on the BrewCrew channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell for future upcoming videos here on the channel. I do football content like this for Saints and LSU. I do wrestling content as well here on the BrewCrew channel. So if you guys are fans of those content, again, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell for everything for future upcoming stuff here on the BrewCrew channel. Now let's go ahead and get right into it. Mostly, of course, main person of this video is Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore, who, as of me recording this yesterday, Wednesday of this week, marked 1 year of him officially being signed as the new head coach for the New Orleans Saints. And right now, of course, coming off, of course, yes, only a 6-win season, but there's a little bit of a shift there, and now the culture shift, the culture shift really is that mostly now of Kellen Moore earning trust, being more of a big time leader as a head coach for the team, as a head coach for the team, and is wanting to make improvements. What are these big improvements? And mostly it involves a strategy, can't even say the word right, a growth strategy of sorts. I can't really say that word freaking right, but strategy growth, mostly meaning growing this team through free agency, through the draft, and of course rebuilding this team. Now, yes, this team has been in a rebuild even since last off season. It continues to be, but it's much bit different than it was last off season than it is this off season, and it's a big difference. And it's mostly definitely thanks to Kellen Moore. And the Saints right now are looking to potentially be a surprise of sorts going into this next season, mostly solely because of the building blocks that we have been making, and that we have made throughout, and the stuff that happened last season and all that, so I sort of blanked out there, but just continues to build, and this is a growth that fans are enjoying, and that we are liking, that we are seeing from this head coach, from Kellen Moore, coming off his first year, coming into his second year. And another big person of this growth is the quarterback Shough, who is right now our new number one guy, the new number one franchise guy, quarterback, coming off a rookie season, coming off of being a finalist for the Rookie of the Year, being the NFL Rookie of the Year, voted by the fans and all that. So yeah, big news from on his side, big news on Shough's side. And it's also pretty big, though, for Shough, because not only is Shough proven to be the future number one guy, especially coming into this next season for this team, he has become the future. He's become already a fan favorite. I mean, even before his start, he's been a fan favorite. Of course, he this past weekend during Mardi Gras was the Grand Marshal during the Mardi Gras parade. Of course, we've seen the clip online, him just chunking the foam footballs and all that, and it was a great thing to see. Just like full on chunking them, like he's actually throwing a football, and it was just amazing to see, and it's a feeling that me remembering last off season, Saints fans didn't feel, because of just everything that happened last off season. I'll get more into that later on, but just with Tyler Shough mostly, like he continues to grow his connection with the city of New Orleans, and the fans continue to grow their connection with Tyler Shough. And I'm definitely excited to see this this connection grow. He is focused, I mean, not only just with the city, but also with the team. He's focused on being a team leader, on growing his relationship and trust with the teammates and coaches and everyone else in his team, continuing to prove to be the number one guy, and it's making me want to see him finally play and finally have a full season as a starter, because that's of course the question, because he only played the certain amount, 8 or 9 games, his rookie year. He's never played a full season. So now, full season, going in at 27 years old, it's going to be interesting to see. And he's now also made New Orleans his new home. I believe I've saw on Instagram he's expecting to have a baby, have a kid, and is expected to start his family here in Louisiana, in New Orleans, in Louisiana, and has already made this a home for him. And that's what I enjoy to see especially from Tyler Shough, who has already taken over the culture in New Orleans, and it's so great to see it because it continues to show that this man could possibly be the future for this organization to get back to where it was during the Drew Brees era. Do I think he will be as successful as Drew Brees, who of course is in the Hall of Fame now, first ballot? Probably not. I don't think nobody is ever going to have the level of success that Drew Brees had. But Tyler Shough is going to make his own path with the Saints. And where will that path lead? We're just going to have to see. I don't know for sure where that's going to go. I'm hoping it goes into the right direction where it leads to a championship, maybe more success, up there with Brees as one of the best quarterbacks with the Saints. I know that's a lot with me saying, but that's my hope. But again, we don't know where that road will lead. And that's just it. I mean, just the combination of Tyler Shough growing his connection with the city, with the fans, and with his team and teammates, and Kellen Moore doing the same thing, growing his connection with the team, but also strategizing how to make this team better, and knowing it's going to be a little bit through free agency, because there's the free agency questions with Alontae Taylor and other veterans as well, and then there's also the draft. The draft is another big reason. And the final thing I kind of want to talk about, I've mentioned it a couple times, the different feel with this organization, with this team, and with the fans overall, with this off season than how it was last off season. Like, mind you, last off season, we're coming off a horrible season, 5-12, one of the worst records in the league, and one of the worst records in the league. We fired our previous head coach in the middle of the season, and we go on a losing streak to end the year. We don't have a head coach. We get the news that potentially Kellen Moore is going to be the head coach, and then it gets official. Kellen Moore, of course, went to the Super Bowl with the Eagles. He was going to be officially announced as the head coach after the Super Bowl. They go on to win the Super Bowl. Shockingly enough, it's in New Orleans. He becomes, of course, a couple days later, officially becomes the head coach for New Orleans. I think another difference is the time frame that Kellen Moore had in his technically first off season as a head coach. Was he came in and it was a short period of time that he had to try to help this team through free agency and NFL draft and even contract negotiations. But now this is actually his first full off season, and with us missing the playoffs and us having not a great record, but still produce pretty well though, now gives him time to, like, with of course what I talked about earlier, to strategize a way to build this team through this off season, which this is a big off season, especially going into this draft. And that's the other difference. The other difference is just the other moments that happened last off season, to where fans were still like, was this the right decision? What's going to happen now? Because there's like three three things that happened last off season that kind of had the fans question this organization and coaching and all this and everything else. The first two are kind of the same thing, and that's, of course, re-signing and extending both Chase Young and Juwan Johnson. Juwan Johnson, who I believe was finishing up his rookie contract with us, we signed him to, I believe it was a 3 or 4 year extension. There, of course, was questions because he hadn't really produced good enough numbers for some fans being like, probably should have let him go and probably should not have signed him. And then lo and behold, he goes on to have a career-setting season. He's top 5, top 10 in yards and catches amongst tight ends in the NFL. And speaking of tight ends, today, as of me recording this, or Thursday, yesterday, whenever this video comes out, I'm seeing apparently rumors that David Njoku, former tight end or current tight end, I think he's a free agent now with the Browns, could potentially be someone the Saints could sign, which could be interesting. You have someone like David Njoku and Juwan Johnson, who's coming off a career year, and Njoku, who's definitely been up and down the past few years as one of the top tight ends in the league. I still remember, I believe, the 2023 season he had, where he had over like 1,000 yards, and he was one of the best players on a Browns team that just eked into the playoffs with 10 wins with Joe freaking Flacco, if you remember that season. So to have that kind of tight end combination for your, yes, young 27-year-old quarterback, he'll be 27 when the season starts, that could be a pretty interesting tight end duo to have on your team. But then the other sign was Chase Young. Like I said before, Chase Young, he was on a 1-year deal with us, played okay, nothing eye-popping really, and we decided to give him the 3-year deal. Apparently he proved himself enough to get I'm sorry, I blanked out, something popped up and I got distracted by it, to give Chase Young a 3-year extension. And there was questions because he hadn't performed, because he was a top 2 pick in the 2020 draft, which was the same draft Joe Burrow was drafted in. He, defensive rookie of the year, had an amazing rookie year, but after that he dealt with injuries, he barely played, and then after 3-4 years with Washington, he goes to San Francisco, has pretty good success there, helps the team go to a Super Bowl, and doesn't re-sign with them, then signs a 1 year with us, is okay, and then of course has the extension. But he proved everybody wrong that he was worth getting that extension, and he goes on to have a double-digit sack season. And mind you, again, the other thing was, he was going into the season expecting to miss the first couple games of the season. He missed the first 5 games and still racked up a double-digit sacks. So Juwan Johnson and Chase Young this past season proved why they were worthy of giving extensions. And then the other thing was the drafting of Shough. because to me personally, it was kind of shocked. I mean, the draft altogether could be a thing as well, because I was kind of shocked when we got Kelvin Banks the first round. Because I didn't know who Kelvin Banks was, and I didn't know that we were going to get an offensive lineman again in the first round. I wasn't happy with the pick, but I kind of grew on it like over time, because then I was like, well, quarterback is still going to be on the board with probably our second round pick. Well, going into the second round, Shedeur Sanders was still talked about potentially going to the Saints, until I was hearing about this Tyler Shough guy. And I was like, oh my goodness, I think we might honestly probably go with this Tyler Shough guy. Lo and behold, we go with Tyler Shough. And it's definitely panned out differently than what fans thought. Because then, of course, we go into the season, Spencer Rattler is the starter. He goes the first half of the season only winning one game. We go with Tyler Shough. Tyler Shough goes 5-4 as a rookie. Sets the rookie passing yards record, passing touchdowns record, and is a finalist for the Rookie of the Year. Yeah, you got your quarterback right there. Where was Shedeur? Yeah, you can say Shedeur made a Pro Bowl. He made a Pro Bowl with more interceptions than touchdowns. I think we hit, though. Probably hit was probably one of the biggest hidden gems. But, like, overall, though, with the draft class, which I don't think you would have told me or told a fan who was iffy about the draft class that we did last season was going to believe you when you told them that four out of all the players that we drafted in this past draft class were going to make the all-rookie team, 3 of them being first team. They probably wouldn't believe you. And Tyler Shough being a second team. They probably wouldn't even believe when you say Tyler Shough, because they probably would not believe that we would have done a rookie as our starter. So, it's a crazy difference if you think about it. It's a crazy difference how it was last offseason than it was this offseason. Especially just right now, And I hope it continues to be different. And I hope we do something big in the draft that helps this team. Hopefully I will talk more about the draft probably later on. I know we're getting the Combine coming up. I'll probably maybe a little bit after the Combine is when I'll probably talk about who could be coming to Louisiana, to New Orleans, with that number 8 overall pick. And a lot of people still think might be Jeremiah Love, if Jeremiah Love is still on the board at number 8. But we'll talk more. Of course, I'll talk more about that probably in a future video, whenever I get it out and whenever I get to it. I think that's probably all I have for this video for today. So yeah, sorry for that little pause right there. Some popped up with Saints news as I'm in the middle of making this. It was just a video by Saints Now, mostly just saying, one half saying that the Saints look to be going all in with Tyler Shough, mostly meaning like all in with like trying to build around him and build around like his skill set, if you kind of know what I mean. If you want to check out the video, I'll probably leave a link in the description if you guys want to check it out. But it's Saints Now by Chat Sports. If you guys want to go check it out, that's what I have on my screen right now. That's why I had that little pause right there. But I'm going to go ahead and quickly end the video so the video doesn't get too much longer. But if you guys made it all the way to this point in the video, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know y'all's thoughts in the comments down below about everything with Kellen Moore, Tyler Shough, and everything else. Let me know if y'all agree, like, the different feel, because I definitely have that. I definitely have that different feel this off-season than last off-season, But yeah, let me know y'all's thoughts in the comments down below. If you guys enjoyed this video, you guys know as always, I don't know why I paused there. You guys know as always, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell for future upcoming videos here on the BrewCrew channel. And again, thank you guys so much for watching. Have an amazing, wonderful day. And as always, I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.